What's up, guys? Hey, Howard, what's up? Good evening to you, too. Welcome back. We are back tonight with the Pigeye Shark, Carcharhinus amboinensis. So, I hope you had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. I had a really terrible Monday, so, I've been really looking forward to this all day, where it's just chilling out and talking about sharks. So yeah, I'm excited to cover the species. And it's kind of funny is this species looks very, very, very similar to a bull shark, yet there's really no footage of it. I can't find anything on it. I've barely been able to get some photographs together. So, but conversely, there's a lot of research on this species. So, and what's cool is I don't really know much about pigeye sharks. This is an Indo-Pacific species. Sometimes it is often confused with a bull shark. It's also known as the Java shark. And there's actually quite a few interesting papers and studies out there. So I've made a list of them to kind of go into tonight. But yeah. But I hope you had a good weekend. I think, Howard, you received your prize package. So it's I think what was it? The Shark Week contest stream. That was almost a month ago, and I realized wait a minute, yeah, that's successfully sent, right? Because shipping from the United States to Canada can sometimes be a little goofy because once you cross the border, it goes to an entirely different postal system. So, but I think that worked. It sounds like you received your package, which was awesome. So awesome, congratulations, fantastic. So, yeah. And I just saw your comment. The only footage I found was fishing footage. Same here. I debated whether or not to show it. I didn't really want to show it because it's the shark in duress. So I didn't really want to kind of go over that footage. But there is quite a few photographs, and then also I think tonight, vibe-wise, I'm kind of feeling like a chill research night. So I've got Stardew Valley, and I on as music for the background, and I chose that just because it's relaxing music. But I didn't realize that it's a farming game, and Pigeye Shark, pigs, farms, it vibes. It's in theme. So. But, oh, hey, thank you. I just saw your comment. I've been reading the Bull Shark Compendium. So, I thank you. So yeah, it's the Bull Shark Compendium was a lot of fun to write because it's actually similar. What's kind of funny is it's similar-ish in format to kind of how these streams work, where a part of it is looking at the history of the research and looking at just kind of what we've learned about a certain species. So that entire book is just on bull sharks alone, and the pigeye shark actually does come up quite often. The one catch and release, it did not look like the shark survived. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I just saw that comment about a pigeye shark clip on YouTube. I don't like fishing clips personally because I'm so nervous about how is the shark doing. So yeah. So thanks for letting me know because I don't really want to watch sharks in distress. So. But yeah, actually, Pigeye Shark. Oh, thank you. Book is an interesting take. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a fun project to write. It was published 2017, so it's almost, what is that, 5 years ago now? 6 years ago now? Am I doing math right? Sorry, it's been a long day. 5 or 6 years ago. 5 years ago, yeah. 6 years ago. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I'm losing it. But yeah, it was a fun project in terms of just compiling all the world's publicly available research, and then also kind of looking at it because for me, I love looking at sharks in a multidimensional lens in terms of I love the science, and I also am interested in terms of what does this mean culturally, or what does this mean even philosophically. So that book has a lot of different approaches to this one species, and it's kind of cool seeing that this species, I believe the first paper is from 18 I should know this actually, 1848. It's Muller-Onlay, who's actually, I believe Muller-Onlay are the authors of the Pigeye Shark as well. Right? Yeah, Muller-Onlay, 1839. So, and actually that might be where the bull shark comes from. Let me make sure, because it actually might be the same. I really should know this off the top of my head, since actually I might have a copy of the Bull Shark Compendium with me. I will reference that. So, ta-da! Oh, ta-da! Let's see. 1841. Gotcha. So Miller-Henley, because it's on the back cover. 1841 is the first record of bull sharks in the world. So, let me get out of here and go back to this. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. I kind of like the format was a lot of fun, where it's just kind of like, it's like each section, or like the left page is a research, like a research abstract, and the right page is kind of like my analysis or commentary on it. And it's like you go through it quickly, kind of zipping through time. And I think my favorite thing about it is like you get to see how science changes, where early science and early shark research seems to be like the writing is a little bit more prosaic. The research is more about like habitat and ecology, and then as time goes on, it turns into more genetics. Parasitology becomes a really big thing. Genetics, it's just kind of like bigger concepts as far as like how do sharks relate to each other. More complex ecological analyses. So, but I hope you're enjoying it, and I appreciate you reading it. Thank you. So. Actually, kind of tying it back to Pigeye Shark, that's the first time I've heard of Pigeye Shark is through doing research for the Bull Shark Compendium, because Pigeye Shark and bull sharks, again, they're often misidentified. Nope, sorry about that, audio fuzzy. No, I think it's back. Hey, sorry about that. But Pigeye Sharks, they tend to be misidentified, and like no wonder they do look really, really similar. Just to kind of pull up a picture. This is a good one from. Actually, these are okay. Yeah, these are really good pictures from FishBase. That's crazy looking, because that looks almost exactly like a bull shark. That's actually a little wild to see that. Oops, sorry. Did not mean to click on this. No. I don't want to open paintbrush. Sorry. Okay. So this is actually a really good example of what I mean, that these two species are like extremely hard to tell apart. I almost even wonder if that is an actual bull shark, because that just looks so similar. But I think the characteristics are the dorsal fin is higher proportionally, and I think there's something else about, let's see, I think there is something else about like the head. So that's something we'll have to kind of focus on tonight in terms of like what actually differentiates it from a bull shark. But I do think it is the dorsal fin is one characteristic where the height of the dorsal fin is a little bit higher in pigeye sharks than bull sharks. But from a distance, this is almost impossible to tell apart, which is kind of wild. And oh, thank you, awesome, audio is okay. And that actually is really important as far as conservation goes, because this species arguably is not doing as well as bull sharks, and how do you manage it? In terms of like how many pigeye sharks are fishermen landing, and misidentifying as bull sharks, or vice versa. So let's check out some other FishBase photos, because this one looks a little different. There's something odd. Like this does not look like a bull shark to me. The features are a little bit too sharp. And the eye is actually a little bit bigger on this juvenile than what I'm kind of used to like bull sharks being. The snout looks a little bit different too. Like this juvenile does not look like a bull shark. This adult looks a lot like a bull shark, to the point where like I mean, this is on FishBase, so I trust FishBase. FishBase is super accurate, but that almost really like looks like a bull. This, yeah, I mean, fin looks a little small in this. This does not look like a bull shark to me. This species is weird. This definitely does not look like a bull shark because the snout is a little bit more pointed. And the dorsal fin is a little bit bigger, actually, this juvenile. So it's kind of funny, the juveniles really don't look like bulls, and yet, but then here you go, this one actually looks like a bull shark. So Yeah, I'm excited to dive into this tonight because, like, even just like looking at these photos, I'm getting a little confused. Like, I mean, the small eyes, kind of like the stockiness of the body. But then again, like that dorsal fin looks really weird. So it almost looks like a bull shark, except like the dorsal fin I think is a good identifier. Wow, look at that, like that. Yeah, I don't blame people confusing the shark. This one is like a master challenge. I would say pigeye sharks and bull sharks, trying to tell them apart, it's kind of the same tier as like Galapagos sharks, and sometimes Galapagos sharks are hard to tell from, I think, sandbar sharks and dusky sharks. So as far as like that is like a real challenge. So yeah, let's start things off by, well, actually first let's shout out to thank you so much for your art, Howard. So I appreciate this pigeye shark and the scientific name Carcharhinus amboinensis. So and it's really cool just having this drawing with an island in the background, a nice little homage to the Indo-Pacific tropicality of the species range. And I also really appreciate just the stockiness of this individual and the tall dorsal fin, because like I think that is a characteristic that separates this from bull sharks. So I'm very curious about kind of exploring more in terms of like what sets these apart. So let's go back to the main fish base page. Oh, cool. They become stouter as adults. Interesting. Because like that's actually really cool because bull sharks, I think they're always kind of like, I don't want to. I mean, like you know, like any baby, like any baby shark, you know, they're a little thin and everything when they're little. But like, I think bull sharks kind of retain a stoutiness as they age. But like this species, that's actually really cool if they're kind of thin as juveniles and then they get bigger as adults, or like kind of fatter as adults. So let's see. The first thing I want to find is how do you tell this apart from a bull shark? So. Oh man. First dorsal fin high and erect, at least 3.2 times height of second dorsal fin. Let's pull up the bull shark species profile, because I think that is a thing. I think that'll be a good comparison. Alright. There's Lucas. Search. Okay. Short description. No, it doesn't have specifically what the proportion of the dorsal fin is to the rest of the body. Shoot. Darn. Yeah, I mean, visually, this is going to be kind of fun to compare. So this guy is a bull shark. Let's go back to some pigeye shark photos. Oh, sorry. Hold on. This was probably a good one. So pigeye shark, bull shark. Pigeye shark, bull shark. So kind of flipping back and forth, you can see that the dorsal fin and the pectoral fin look like they're proportionally a bit bigger. Caudal fin proportions. It looks like the caudal fin is a little bit more of an outward angle than a bull shark. Let's see what else we got. I don't know. I mean, they look so similar, but the biggest thing again is like I just feel like that dorsal fin is pretty small. This is going to be a good one to compare. Let's see. Because I think there was one. Okay. Yeah. Dorsal fin's kind of more of like a kind of like a straight edge, like at a 90-degree angle almost. And then for the bull shark, and then for pigeye shark, there seems to be a little bit of a curve. But these are really hard to tell apart. Oh, sorry. I mean, look at that. I think it's something in the fins. Like, I still think you can kind of tell with just the dorsal fins or the different fins on the body. Like, just I think the Pigeye Shark's fins are. I stand by that the Pigeye Shark fins are bigger, but yeah, this is really hard to tell apart. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's check out some conservation with IUCN Red List as far as the Pigeye Shark goes. So here we go. It's a vulnerable species. It's interesting to see this range does overlap with bull sharks, so Indo-Pacific species. Kind of interesting to see that this is actually can be found in tropical tropical West Africa, eastern tropical Atlantic. Can be found in Madagascar, South Africa, which is actually a really big bull shark hotspot, Australia, Indonesia. So yeah, it's a pretty wide range in the Indo-Pacific. It's a vulnerable species. I usually read the assessments pretty much all the way through, so let's just kind of like scan through this time because I feel like I always read this all the way through. It has been often confused with the bull shark, confounding information on distribution and abundance. It matures late and has a biennial reproductive cycle, resulting in low productivity. In Australian waters, it is taken only in limited amounts. However, in the remainder of its range, it is subject to intensive coastal fisheries that have operated over many decades. No species-specific information on population decline is available, but there's evidence of declines in general shark catches in many parts of its range, despite ongoing high levels of effort. Wow. Declines in whaler sharks, so of the family Carcharhinidae, across the regions of large marine ecosystems equate to a 73% reduction of the Pigeye shark over the past 3 generation lengths. The Pigeye shark's low productivity means that it is likely to have declined throughout most of its range. However, it is still reported to be commonly caught in some parts of its range. It is suspected the Pigeye shark has undergone a population reduction of 30 to 49% over the past 3 generation lengths due to levels of exploitation, and is assessed as vulnerable. Sadly enough, bull sharks are also assessed as vulnerable now, and that's something that's changed in my lifetime. Bull sharks used to be near threatened 10 years ago, and then now they're assessed as vulnerable species. Let's see. I'm just kind of scanning through threats because I usually spend a lot of time on IUCN Red List, and like if you can see these tabs up here, there's so much information on Pigeye sharks, so I don't want to spend a lot of time here. So just kind of scanning. Pigeye shark is taken in beach protection programs in Australia and South Africa. Yeah, I won't spend a lot of time on this. We'll close this out in a second. There are a few species-specific regulations in place to protect this species. In Northern Australia, fisheries that target sharks are managed usually using output and total allowable catches. Okay, that's kind of more like a general statement. Okay, so we'll close out of this, but Pigeye sharks are a vulnerable species. Checking out the FishBase main page. This is really odd hearing banjo with this. But, did you have a good weekend, Howard, by the way? Any fun summer activities? I'm kind of also curious about the Latin name amboinensis, denoting the place Ambon Island, Moluccas Islands, Indonesia, the type locality. Oh, cool. So the first individual Pigeye shark was caught from Ambon Island in Indonesia, which is why it's called Carcharhinus amboinensis. That is really cool. So. Oh, often confused, check this out, often confused with Sympatric Carcharhinus lucus, which is the bull shark, and Glyphis gangeticus, the Ganges river shark. The 3 are distinguishable. I wish they explained more how you can tell them apart. But that's interesting that this species is confused with bull sharks and a kind of river shark. So, which is wild because like river sharks are critically endangered. This is a really, really important group. So that's actually pretty crazy. Oh, nice. Went on a boat cruise of Lake Ontario. Very cool. Very cool. So that sounds awesome. I meant to go out this weekend myself, but I had company over on Saturday, and then I just kind of like took it easy on Sunday because I've been just running around so much last week. So kind of had a chill weekend. This coming weekend, though, I'm going to be going to the Eastern Shore National Wildlife Refuge in Virginia, which I've never been to before. Actually, no, sorry, I have been to it before, but I've never really explored it as much as I want to. And it's in the cool zone where the Chesapeake Bay meets the Atlantic Ocean. So, and I think there are some spots I can snorkel. So we're going to try it, fingers crossed, see what we can see. But yeah, so that's something that's going to be coming up for this weekend. And if I find anything cool, I will send some pictures. It's peak shark season now, with August in this part of the world. So yeah, hoping to find a cool species. And actually, the Eastern Shore is a nursery for dusky sharks, and I forget if it's a nursery for lemon sharks, but I know lemon sharks do like the lagoons on the Eastern Shore here. So fingers crossed, safe shark encounter. So, and we have bull sharks. We have bull sharks as well, but no pigeye sharks. So here we go. Yeah, this is almost exactly like a bull shark description. Massive shark with thick set head, a short, broad, blunt snout, small eyes, large triangular saw edge, upper teeth, first dorsal fin height. Yeah, that first dorsal fin I think is the thing that sets it apart. This guy likes continental insular shelves, shallow water, close inshore, near the surf line along beaches. It also occasionally enters brackish water. Now that's interesting, because that is something that the river sharks like and bull sharks like. The ability to enter estuarine environments is not common in sharks, so that's actually really cool. Did not know that about pigeye sharks. May be found in shallow bays and estuaries, as well as the open coast, but not ascending rivers. Interesting. Predominantly demersal, meaning it likes to be patrolling close to the bottom, but found throughout the water column. Feeds on pelagic and demersal bony fish, sharks and rays, interesting, squid, shrimp, cuttlefish, octopi, lobsters, gastropods, and mammalian carrion, interesting. Potentially dangerous, but not recorded in shark attacks to date. So, okay, interesting. So yeah, oh, that's interesting. I've never noticed this part of fish base. Threat to humans, traumatogenic. Let me look that up really quick. What does that mean? Traumatogenic. Sharks have been reported to attack humans, causing an injury. Interesting. Ugh. Well, that's fascinating. I'd actually be curious. I mean, since this species looks so much like a bull shark and occupies such a similar... How big does this get, actually? Occupies such similar habitat. I am a little curious. Let's see. It gets to be about 280 centimeters. That's 2.8 meters. That's not as big as the biggest bull shark, but it's about 9 feet. So that's not as big as the biggest bull shark, but... that's still a big shark. That could probably give a not cool bite. And I do know that bull sharks go after some marine mammals in some situations. It looks like this species maybe scavenges dead marine mammals, but it doesn't actively go after marine mammals. Whereas bull sharks, I've heard of them going after like some dolphins, porpoises. Like they do go after that. So interesting. So maybe it is not as dangerous. Here's a very, very fuzzy, low-resolution jaw set, but this is from the original description of the species. The teeth are interesting and a little terrifying because they are broad and they are serrated, which does actually suggest a more generalist diet, which is terrifying because that is more like... Even though I just said this probably is not going after marine mammals, these are actually really good tooth types to do that, so that's a little freaky. Let's see. There's not a lot of images on this, is there? Yeah, so this is a good diagnostic drawing from Mural on Lay. Again, the dorsal fin and the pectoral fin, they do look a little bit too sharp to be a bull shark. It looks so close, but those fins look a little too big and a little too sharp to really be that, so. Oh, thank you! I just saw your comment, Howard, about good luck. Thank you, I appreciate that. So, I didn't know that pigeye sharks, or that either enter brackish water. Yeah, I had no idea either. So that's actually a really fun fact for this species. And it does imply a lot as far as management goes. So, here's a list of research, so we'll kind of put a pin in that for now. Actually, let me just move that into the end, because there were a couple papers and things that I wanted to see before we try to explore some more research. So here is the GBIF website, which sometimes has some really good images. These are all not so good. It's kind of amazing, like, how little we know, or like how little material we have on this species. This image in particular is one that I've seen quite often. This is actually kind of more of a famous image as far as pigeye sharks go, because I believe there's some illustrations just based on this image alone. So there we go. Just want to make sure there's a good view of this. Yeah, just that dorsal fin again. I keep saying this, but I think that is the thing that kind of tells it apart. So, oh, and here you go. See, case in point. This is a new website, Fish Idea, and this is the diagnostic image that they're using for pigeye sharks. This is the tooth type. Okay. Characteristic features. First dorsal fin height more than 3 times height of second dorsal fin height. So that might be it. Notch and posterior margin of anal fin, relatively acute. Interdorsal ridge absent. Bull sharks are the same thing. Snout very broad or broadly rounded. Upper and lower teeth broadly triangular. Okay. Adults move greater distances while juveniles remain relatively localized. Birth occurs in November or December in northern Australian populations. So, oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. So I like that this website is comparing to the bull shark directly and talking about why they're different. So here we go. Carcharhinus lucus differs in having a more robust body versus more slender, and a moderately short snout versus snout moderately long. So I guess they're saying, but that looks so blunt though. Like, but that could, I mean, that could be species damage. But I guess they're saying pigeye sharks have a longer snout and a less robust body. But if we look at these pigeye shark pictures, I mean, I guess I could see that with like maybe that picture. But that looks really blunt. And I would not call this like a slender looking shark, to be honest. That picture looks a little bit sharper though. Like, I do agree that that looks a little sharp as far as the snout. That also looks a little bit sharper too. Interesting. And then that one too a little bit. I don't know. This species is a masterclass challenge, so okay. So I think tonight again we're gonna just dive into the research. So not a lot of footage, so strap in. I hope you have a cool snack or something good to drink, and maybe even a project in the background, because I think this is gonna be a very research heavy night. Yeah, let's see what we can learn about this species. So, pigeye shark. This is from California State University. And I'll just kind of shout out if there's anything that's kind of jumping out to me as far as something new. Again, this is a species that I don't know much about. And you know what's kind of wild? I'm just noticing this now for this photo of this species. That really looks very different from a bull shark. That dorsal fin is really big. Actually, you know what, Howard? This is very similar to your illustration, just kind of capturing that long, tall, slender dorsal fin. And even, look at that, even the caudal fin. That's actually kind of cool. Like, I don't know, that's actually really cool. This photo from California State University identifying a pigeye shark. This is definitely saying this is more slender. So I'm a little worried now in terms of are some of these pictures, are these all Pigeye? I mean, again, Fishbase I trust. Fishbase is a solid website. So are these all Pigeye sharks, or did anyone make any mistakes in identification? Because I don't know. These are not really lined. I mean, I don't know. Like, that looks pretty different from what I'm seeing on Fishbase. This is a good challenge shark. Man. But okay. Anyway. So, California State University, we've got colors, 6 to 13 pups per litter, size of birth around 70 centimeters in length. I think that is the same litter size as bull sharks, or pretty close to it. There's not much information on their age and growth. Due to the size, large jaw, and teeth, pigeye shark is considered to be potentially dangerous. They tend to stay inshore along the beaches and near the surf line with a depth ranging to 0 to 100 meters. That is actually a little bit shallower than bull sharks, because bull sharks, although bull sharks are a classic shallow water species, they have a wider depth range. Bull sharks can be found deeper than 100 meters, so pigeye sharks have been occasionally found in brackish waters. Pigeyes are commonly mistaken for bull sharks, and both species distribution overlaps around East Africa and Australia. Oh, this is cool. They're talking about fish that they eat. So they eat croaker, hairtail, I'm not really sure what a hairtail is, and sole, this is like a flounder, while also preying on crustaceans and mollusks. They are also known to feed on inshore species such as shrimp, skates, cuttlefish, etc. So. This is kind of cool. When this was published, the species was data deficient. Now it's listed as vulnerable. So, okay, here we go. Tooth and jaw information. So this is all new. All teeth are thick, upright, and heavily serrated, but especially so on the lower jaw. Their teeth are similar in morphology to the bull shark. However, the pigeye shark has 23 to 26 front row teeth. Front row teeth in the upper jaw, 23 to 25 front row teeth in the lower jaw. Okay, so this kind of terrifies me. This is actually a good opportunity to talk about why these teeth are terrifying. Because, as I understand it, bull sharks, like the famous sharks that are responsible for shark attack, like bull sharks, tiger sharks, great whites, and oceanic white tips, their tooth morphology is pretty unique in terms of, like, if you have broad serrated teeth, that's actually not super common in the shark world. Like, many sharks, most sharks really, have kind of like those slender teeth, or like a mixed tooth type, like as far as like maybe broader teeth in the top jaw and then like slender spiky teeth in the lower jaw, and that's kind of more suited for eating fish. Most sharks have like slender hook-like teeth, or just kind of like, you know, piscivorous teeth. Not like it's really rare in the shark world to have these kinds of teeth, even though these are the most famous teeth, you know, like Jaws, like Hooper pulling this kind of tooth off the wreck, the boat wreck. You know, it's like the classic image of what a shark tooth looks like, is these like broad triangular teeth. So these are not common in the shark world, and having these broad triangular teeth means that this is a predator that can handle a generalized kind of prey, like as far as marine mammals or people, or in the case of tiger sharks, sea turtles. So the broad triangular teeth with the serrations are really great for handling large prey items, and they're freaky. I mean, like having a full a jaw set of like these broad triangular serrated teeth is like not the most common thing. And even though pigeye sharks have not been implicated in shark attack, really, I appreciate this potentially dangerous warning, because yeah, these teeth are actually kind of scary. Like, these do suggest that this is an animal that does have a pretty generalist or opportunistic feeding strategy, so it's a little freaky. None of what we're seeing in terms of its diet is really suggesting that. It is kind of more like smaller prey items, but still, they're a freaky teeth type. So, where do these jaws come from? Jaws were relinquished to the Fish and Wildlife Service from companies attempting to import species protected under the U.S. Endangered Species Act. Interesting. Sure. What does the Shark Lab do? Dr. Chris Lowe and his students at the Shark Lab study the physiology, behavior, and ecology of sharks and rays. Interesting. So this is kind of a little bit more general. This is like a little quick snapshot of what the species is. But yeah, interesting. So let's get out of here. Atlas of Living Australia. Again, there's that photo. So this is kind of like the main picture of what the species is. Interesting. It's adding a couple items to the list. So we talked about croaker soles and hairtails, sharp-nosed sharks, and other species, skates, sea snails. So sharp-nosed sharks being other Carcharhinus, Rhizopyranodon is a sharp-nosed shark. So interesting. Just one image for the gallery. These are old names for this species. So we got the accepted name Carcharhinus amboinensis. Galeolamna is something I've not seen in forever. It's a very old, pretty broad genus. Carcharhinus amboinensis. That's interesting. Oh, this is cool. Check out these common names. So there's Pigeye Shark, Estuary Shark, never heard of that for this species, and then the Java Shark. That is something I've heard of this species before. So, okay. Statistics. Whoa, what is this? Whoa, now this is kind of cool. I don't know how much we can lean into this as far as data goes, because it looks like these as far as like the years, looks like these occurrence records, 2009, 2010, 11, 12. I would not really lean into that personally too much, because it could be that, you know, people were sampling this species around this time frame and then just kind of stop sampling it. I would not really lean into that. But what I do think is a lot more interesting is the occurrence records by month, which is kind of fascinating, where you can see that it looks like this species is very populous in March and then starts to kind of peter out and disappear from Australia. This is Australia, right? Atlas of Living Australia, yep. Disappear in November. So that's actually pretty interesting. If I think about it, so, because Australia is the opposite of here, so this is the cold time of year, and then the weather starts to warm up. The solstice would be December in Australia. The equinox is still March, so that actually, okay, sorry. So yeah, so in the northern hemisphere, in temperate regions in the northern hemisphere, the peak shark season, at least kind of like true temperate region, is really August in this part of the world. And then if you flipped it, because like Australia is on the southern hemisphere, the seasons are completely opposite. So it's summer here right now, it's winter in Australia right now. If you flip it, as far as like shark biodiversity, I think that does correspond with what the warmest water temperature would be. So I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I'm actually kind of really geeking out about this. It makes sense that March is like the most populous period, because this is where, for this species, because this is arguably when the waters are the warmest down in Australia, is March. So that makes sense, because even though the middle of the year is going to be, the middle of the summer is going to be December, water temperature warms more slowly than air temperature, so the water is actually getting warmer as the year goes on. So interesting. Sorry. Thank you for indulging me with that, because like I just love stuff like that, and it's just complete nerdery. So, but yeah, this is actually really cool. I never noticed that about Atlas of Living Australia, that they plot out the species occurrences by like year and month. That's actually really cool. This is a nice breakdown on the classification. So it is kind of cool seeing not just like the classic taxonomy, like the classic one is kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, but you can kind of see the subclass of Elasmobranchi, which is just the sharks, skates, and rays, and then the class Chondrichthyes, which is all that, including chimeras. So that's kind of cool, breaking it down. Okay, we'll get out of this website and move on. There's a new illustration. So this is Museums of South Africa Biodiversity Explorer for the Pigeye Shark. Not a lot here. This is saying it extends down to 60 meters, which is a little bit shallower. Feeds on bottom organisms including cob. I don't know what a cob is. Ribbonfish. Let's see. So that's a really short species profile, so we'll just kind of move on. iNaturalist New Zealand. These are new photographs of this species, so let's just take a closer look. I wonder if I can make that bigger. Nope. We'll just kind of do it the old-fashioned way. Okay. Yeah. So this is a landed, smaller Pigeye Shark. It's weird. It does kind of throw me off a little bit because, like, in this photo I can tell it's not a bull shark, but it's hard to really describe why that is. And in this particular photo, it's not the first dorsal fin that's sticking out to me. It's just like, I don't know. It just I don't know what it is about it. And that's actually kind of like a cool thing. Like one marine biology trick I learned was I had a professor challenge me with these two different fish species that they look completely different, but they actually are closely related. And she was telling me like how do you know these are closely related? And like I'm looking at these two fish species and I'm like, I don't really know, but like I can tell, but like I'm not really sure. And she's like, like how can you tell? Like try to identify how you can tell. And it really challenged me in terms of like it was like a really good exercise of like my brain is telling me there's something up with this. Like my brain is registering a difference. I can't articulate it. I can't really put my finger on it out loud what it is, but my brain is telling me like I know there's something different about this. So I mean, it was a cool exercise where it's like, like if you feel like there's something different or there's something off, like it might be that your brain is actually identifying something. The closest I can come to for this picture is the lower caudal fin is looking a little bit bigger and sharper than I'm kind of used to for bull sharks, but I don't know. But anyway, I think it's just in anything in life, that's a really good trick in terms of like anything in marine biology or nature, as far as if you think you got something, but you don't know what it is, but you have a gut feeling that, yeah, there's something off about this, chances are, you're right, and your brain is registering something quicker than you are. So this is a really cool photo where, yeah, the pectoral fin is actually looking a little bit bigger and sharper. Still big dorsal fin. But look at that snout. It's so blunt. It's so weird. It's like, dude, I don't blame anybody for confusing this with bull sharks. This is so similar looking. So, wild guy. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Howard? Do you think you could tell this apart from a bull shark in the wild? I genuinely don't think I could. I mean, it's like when you have an opportunity to stare at it, you kind of can. Ooh, this is a good photo of the jaw. Wow. Ooh, creepy. That's actually a really cool photo of. I don't think we've ever seen a photo like this just on the stream as far as like teeth go. Ooh, but wow, it's actually really cool seeing this row of teeth almost like folded into the gum line, and then like this kind of beautiful and terrifying bottom row of teeth right here. Freaky. And this is like definitely a small individual, but yeah, look at that, the lower caudal fin is actually really big. Yeah, actually, that looks a lot weirder than bull sharks. That looks a lot bigger. Because bull sharks, I think they have a kind of like a smaller, lower caudal fin. Even this anal fin looks a little weird. Just like that looks a little bit more pronounced and more like a hook. I don't know. So like so far in terms of like trying to tell this apart from a bull shark, the thing that I'm getting is just like look at the fins. You know, the body looks almost exactly the same, and that's really almost impossible to tell apart. But the fins look different. You know, like the proportion, the size, they do look a little different on this species. So it would depend how good a look you get. They prefer murky water. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, I can't. Like, shout out to marine biologists working with bull sharks and pigeye sharks and trying to do a research project with these species and trying to tell them apart in riverine habitat. That is a real challenge, and like, look at that. Because I know, so that bottom photo is a bull shark, you know, and I'm really glad they actually got this photo. This is a really nice, NOAA photo. This is a really, really great photo from NOAA that I've used in lectures before, actually. And I'm really glad they're comparing the pigeye shark with the bull shark with that photo. But yeah, so pigeye shark is on the top, bull shark's on the bottom. Holy crap, they are so similar looking. But yeah, yeah, you can kind of tell it apart a little bit though, because it looks like for this shark the dorsal fin is swept back a little bit more. It's a little bit bigger, and then there's more of a curve, like an inward curve. And with the bull shark, the dorsal fin is just a little bit smaller, a little bit more like a perfect triangle, and like the edge is a little bit straighter. It's more of like a flat 90-degree angle almost, and then like curving outward. Whereas this pigeye shark dorsal fin looks like it has more of an inward curve. So that is something that looks different between these two species. And again, that anal fin looks really weird. It just looks a little bit too rounded. I don't think bull shark anal fins really look like that. And then finally, I think the caudal fin for pigeye shark is just a smidge longer, smidge bigger, smidge more narrow than the bull shark. But really, it's the dorsal fin that seems to be... Oh, here we go. Look at this. External differences between two species include the relative sizes of the dorsal fins and the angle of the notch in the anal fin. So, okay. So we got it. So that's how you tell these sharks apart. So it's the dorsal fin and then the angle of the notch of the anal fin. Okay. So awesome. So we've accomplished this mission. Gotcha. Alright, so yeah, let's check out the rest of this website. So iNaturalist New Zealand, and I'll just shout out if there's anything that's new, any new pieces of information about this species. I like this. It's an uncommon species, a requiem shark. You know, I kind of appreciate that. Okay, it's a little bit rarer. Prefers shallow, murky environments with soft bottoms, and tends to roam within a fairly localized area. That's actually really cool. I actually like that because, and I think it depends on the habitat, but bull sharks are migratory animals, you know, so, I don't know. I don't know what it is like in Australia in terms of, like, what bull sharks do in Australia, but I know in North America, bull sharks are super migratory, so, yeah, interesting. With its bulky gray body, small eye, and short blunt snout, the pigeye shark looks almost identical to and is often confused with the better-known bull shark. The two species differ in vertebral count, the relative size of the dorsal fins, and other subtle traits. Cool. A classic vertebral count. The infamous thing that delineates Carolina hammerheads from scout hammerheads. The pigeye shark, I like this website actually. This is nicely arranged. The pigeye shark is an apex predator that mostly hunts low in the water column. It eats sea snakes. Look at that. Yeah, that's actually really cool. This is a sea snake eating shark. And this is interesting. It's saying it does eat cetaceans. And the question is, does that mean it actively predates on cetaceans, or is it a scavenger? So cetaceans being like whales, dolphins, porpoises. I don't know. Because like the teeth, you know, again, the teeth are pretty big. It's a little freaky. Young sharks spend their first few years of life in sheltered inshore habitats such as bays, where their movements follow tidal and seasonal patterns. The Pigeye Shark's size and condition make it potentially dangerous, though it has not been known to attack humans. Cool. Sorry, just like the fins are somewhat distinctive. Yes. Like A plus on that, because that appears to be like the way that they delineate them. But I love this comment. It also makes you question your reports of either shark. Absolutely, and especially for fishermen. Because I think this is a challenging species for scientists. Like I do think this is a really challenging one for marine biologists. But imagine you're a fisherman and you're just kind of like going through your day. This is really, really hard to tell apart, and that is really important as far as fisheries regulations and conservation in terms of like how many individual bull sharks are you landing versus how many individual pigeye sharks are you landing. It's a really good question, and that's a good point. It makes you question reports of either shark. Gray patternation is a bit distinctive. Interesting. Yeah, let me check that out. Let's look at the photos again. Cause it's tricky for me. The color looks a lot like a bull shark for me. There are some individual I think there was a couple photos back here where it looks like the I thought there was a photo back here where the difference was a bit sharper, the delineation between the gray and the white, I think it's this one actually, because it almost looks like there's a little bit of I forget if you call this a cape going on over here, and yeah, this does look kind of how sharp this color is delineated from how sharp the gray is delineated from the white back here. That does look a little different from bull sharks. But I will say the juveniles look really similar. So color is always very tricky. There's some really cool photos of sand tiger sharks with mottled patterns. Let's see if I can find those really quick. Actually, no. Let's do the where it kind of is mind-blowing that it's the same species. I wonder if I can find this really quick. And I know every time I Google, it screws up my bandwidth, but I do want to find this, just kind of, because it's a cool example of how color can change so much in sharks. Oh man, where is this? Because sand tiger sharks, I'm always used to them being this color, bronzy. But there are a few that look really, really dark. Yeah, this one, kind of. I think that's, yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is it. So this is really cool because this is definitely a sand tiger, but this color pattern looks so much like, it almost looks like a white shark because it's this sharp line, delineating the dorsal and the ventral coloration. Whereas when you look at a photo like this, it's more of a gradient, like a bronzy gradient. So color is tricky. Color is very, very tricky for sharks. Unless it's a reef-dwelling shark, it's usually not very reliable because it can be so variable. Yes, well, no, that actually looks kind of sharp too. This is a better example of that being a gradient, just a smooth gradient. And then, did I see this right? This shark almost looks completely brown. Although that could be the lighting. So, but anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's tricky. If it's a reef-dwelling shark, color can be really, really helpful. But if it's a shark that occupies open water habitat, it's tricky because even within a single species, there could be a lot of different color morphs. So that would be a cool study to do. One day. I think there's so many other areas of shark research that probably take priority, but color morphs in sharks, that would be a kind of a fun one to do because it's it's not often you see them, but you do see them, and it'll be kind of cool. It'll be kind of cool to see. Is there a reason why certain sharks have color morphs? You know, kind of like the first thing I think of is like dogs, like retrievers or like Labrador retrievers have like there's like a chocolate lab, black lab, yellow lab. So I don't know. Let's see. Where do we leave off? I think we left off on taxonomy. It's interesting. Drawing the Trianodon obtusus, a synonym of Carcharhinus amboinensis. That's actually kind of interesting that this is the original description, because Trianodon is the white tip reef shark, Trianodon obesus. So, interesting. Phylogeny evolution. Since the Pigeye shark so strongly resembles the bull shark, morphology-based phylogenetic studies have considered the two species to be closely related. That would be really cool. Neither this nor any arrangement, neither this nor any other arrangement is strongly supported by molecular phylogenetic research, which to date has been inconclusive regarding this shark's evolutionary relationship to other Carcharhinus species. Interesting. Ooh, hey, this is cool. Genetic analysis of Pigeye shark across northern Australia suggests that the evolutionary history of this species was affected by coastline changes during the Pleistocene epoch, 2.6 million to 12,000 years ago. The patterns of diversity found in its mitochondrial DNA are consistent with the repeated splitting and merging of its populations as geographical barriers were alternatively formed and inundated. The most recent of these barriers was a land bridge across the Torres Strait that reopened only some 6,000 years ago. As a result, significant genetic separation exists between the sharks found off of Western Australia and the Northern Territory and those found off of Queensland. That is super cool. Wow, I don't know. Where is the Torres Strait? I'm kind of curious where that is. Oh, hey, sorry, Howard, I just saw your comment. Note the double streak of white underbelly on amboinensis. Yeah, let's check that out, actually. Really quick. Let's go back. Yeah, I think, do you mean this right here, where it's like, where's that other photo? Here, yeah, like, where it's like you have this patch of white, then you have like this gray kind of intruding into the white. It does look different. That does look different, compared to a bull shark. It's just what's tricky is like the other photos like are so similar looking. So, Torres Strait. So this is cool. I had no idea this was a thing. So apparently the Torres Strait, which is something that separates Australia and Papua New Guinea, used to be a land bridge. And so with the land bridge, it separated way back in the day this population of Pigeye sharks from, or like this eastern population of Pigeye sharks from this western population of Pigeye sharks. So that's extremely cool. Since I don't really know much about like Australian, habitat and ecology, like that's something that's brand new to me. I had no idea that that was like even a land bridge at one point in time. That is really, really cool. So let's go back to shout out to iNaturalist New Zealand. This is a really cool website. Like this is actually I'm really enjoying what we're learning here. So oh, here we go. Description. Let's see. Nictitating membranes. All Carcharhiniforms have that. I'm just kind of scanning through this, trying to see if there's like the big differences, or trying to see if they like kind of go into detail the differences between this and bull sharks. Okay, yeah, this is what I was kind of talking about. So the first dorsal fin is large and triangular with a pointed apex and a concave trailing margin. So that's the fancy term for what I was trying to say. This right here is the concave trailing margin. So And I would say that the bull shark does not have that. I would say that the bull shark is more of a straight trailing margin. Like it doesn't go as far in as the Pigeye Shark. Like when you compare them side by side, again, yeah, that makes sense to me. Like Pigeye Shark, it does kind of come in more. Bull Shark, it doesn't really. It's so subtle, but like you can see that. So interesting. Where are we again? It originates roughly over the posterior insertions of the pectoral fins. You know what? Hold on. Am I seeing that right? This is cool. Tell me if you're seeing this the way I'm seeing this. So, a cool thing to tell different sharks apart is where the origin of the dorsal fin is, or the origin of any fin is relative to any other fin. And if I'm seeing this correctly, if you draw a straight line of the Pigeye Shark's dorsal fin down, it kind of is like around, like they said, like the insertion of the pectoral fin. There that is, right? But if you draw a straight line down to the bull shark, it almost looks like it's at kind of like the end of the pectoral fin. Like not really the insertion. It's kind of like sort of at the edge. They didn't say that that's something that distinguishes them, but I don't know. Let's check this out on the other photos. Yeah, check this out. Yeah, the origin of the dorsal fin is going into the insertion of the pectoral fin for Pigeye Shark. Same thing here for the Pigeye Shark. Yeah, this is not a good individual because it is kind of damaged, but same thing. Definitely the same thing here. So let's compare this to bull sharks really quick. Let's see if this is a thing. I'm actually really kind of geeking out, but I'm very curious if that's a thing. Sorry. Let's just Google it. Oh, I actually had it. Oh, there we go. Carcharhinus lucas, the scientific name for the bull shark. Oh, I just typed it in wrong. Fish base is so it's not. If you're trying to search for something, you can screw up really easily. It's not very forgiving, is I guess what I'm trying to say. You have to do exactly. You have to insert it exactly the way you want it. Okay, or they want it. Here we go. Nah. Yeah, I thought I was onto something, but I'm really not. So these are bull shark photos, and the origin of the first dorsal fin is still kind of tucked into the pectoral fin, so yeah, that's not something that you can... Yeah, that's not something you can use. Sorry. I thought I was onto something. I'm not. So, shoot. It's hard to tell these guys apart. That's tricky. Oh, thank you. I just saw your comment, Howard. Amboinensis has a more falcate pectoral. I think you're right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Man, yeah. Oh, this is cool. There's a very active shark culture in Papua New Guinea. That's actually really cool. I like kind of considering like the evolutionary history. That's actually really cool. In tandem with just how significant that region is as far as like geology, how that's affected shark populations. That's actually really cool. Kind of culturally matching that. So awesome. Or not matching that, but like complementing that is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So we were talking about the origin of the dorsal fin. Second dorsal fin is less than a third of the height of the first. It originates ahead of the anal fin. There's no midline ridge between the dorsal fins. The anal fin has a sharply notched trailing margin. Since we got the bull shark photos up, let's compare that, because that is apparently is the thing that separates them as well. Okay, so this is a good shot of the bull shark's fins, including the anal fin. And then if you compare that to a Pigeye Shark, you can kind of see in that photo. You could definitely see in this photo where that is definitely more notched. It almost looks like, this is a weird comparison, but it almost looks like a tiger shark tooth. like just in terms of like what that notch is like. This is a really good photo as far as the notch goes. That's actually pretty good as far as the notch. And yeah, that's pretty good. So again, Pigeye Shark, Bull Shark. I think we're kind of doing it. I think we... Shoot. You know what? That dorsal fin looks kind of straight. Like, oh my gosh, this thing is crazy. Hold on. Yeah, that dorsal... Well... this is a master... Oh my gosh. Look at this. This dorsal fin looks super straight. Oh my gosh. This... And that one looks... This is a masterclass shark challenge. Like I swear, you know, like, yeah, if you want to like challenge somebody to an idea shark, you like just show them a picture of a Pigeye Shark and a bull shark and say, tell me the difference between these two. So, okay, the best thing we've got is just the anal fin in terms of like there's a notch right here for Pigeye Sharks. The notch is not prominent in bull sharks. I think that's the best thing we got. So I think the anal fin is the first thing to look for as far as trying to tell these species apart. And then the second thing is just the dorsal fin in terms of like how big is it and does it curve inward. That's, man, this is wild. I would argue, what do you think? Do you think this is the trickiest shark we've seen so far? I think this might be, this might be the trickiest one. I just realized, by the way, like, what episode is this? Oh good, 38. Okay, so we've done 38 episodes. I think this is the trickiest one. I just realized that I might have forgotten to number this episode, but I didn't. So, here we go. But trickiest one for Shark ID, because these differences are just so subtle. So, alright. Getting back to... Talking about the anal fin. The caudal peduncle has a deep notch in the upper surface of the caudal fin origin. Yeah, the caudal fin is asymmetrical with a well-developed lower lobe and a longer upper lobe. Yeah, I think you can use that because like this is a bull shark and the caudal fin, I would not call that very well developed or as strong. This is definitely very strong for the Pigeye Shark. Yeah. You compare these two pictures, bull shark is a little bit not as dramatic. Well, oh my gosh, this is so tricky. I mean, yeah, there's some photos where it's like you can clearly see the difference and some photos where you can't. And to your original point, Howard, in terms of like how, I wonder how often this species has been misidentified, that is such a good question. Because it's kind of wild. Like, we're seeing photos comparing Pigeye Sharks and bull sharks where it's like, there's some traits that look completely different, like clearly very different. And then there's some traits where it's like, wait a minute, like, you know, the dorsal fin looks right, but the caudal fin doesn't, or like, the anal fin is the only one that we've got where it's like, yeah, that's very different. Okay, let's keep going because I spent a lot of time on like trying to find the differences between these two species, and there's still a lot of research to kind of check out. So we'll keep going. This is cool. Skin is covered by rather large dermal denticles, which become more tightly packed and overlapping with age. It's kind of cool. Howard, I think you pointed this out earlier. This species is gray above and white below with a faint pale band on the flanks. So that's actually not something that does come with bull shark description. So that's actually really cool. That's a cool observation. This is cool. Second dorsal fin and lower caudal fin lobe darken at the tips, particularly in juveniles. That is something that bull sharks have as well. So baby bull sharks do have dark, dusky fin tips. Sometimes they look like black tips, but these fade as the shark grows. An albino individual was caught off Queensland in 1987, which is the first known example of albinism in a requiem shark. That's pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Yeah. The Pigeye Shark, I should have just kept reading. Here we go. The Pigeye Shark can be most reliably distinguished from the bull shark by the number of precaudal vertebrae, which is impossible to tell in life, like in terms of like just seeing the shark at sea. Externally, it has a greater size difference between its dorsal fins. The first to second height ratio is over 3.1 versus under 3.1 in the bull shark. And the notch in its anal fin margin forms an acute angle versus a right angle in the bull shark. The species also usually has fewer tooth rows in the lower jaw than the bull shark. Interesting. So one more time, let's check out the size difference of the dorsal fins. Oh, sorry. Let's just see what they're talking about. So these dorsal fins, more similar in size. These dorsal fins, more different in size. And that's a way to tell them apart. I can kind of see it. I think it's a little tricky in life. Let's just take a quick look at the other photos. You could definitely see in this photo. Yeah, actually, that's kind of reliable, maybe. Yeah, the difference between the first dorsal fin and second dorsal fin is pretty big in Pigeye sharks. Not as big as bull sharks. Okay. Yeah, this is actually a really good photo. Look at that. This is a bull shark, and the dorsal fins are not too radically different in size. I mean, they are different in size, clearly, but they're not, like, super different. Whereas a Pigeye shark, pretty different. Really different. Okay. So, okay, cool. Okay, so I think just in summary, and I'll shut up about telling these two species apart. I'm just really curious about it. The first thing, if you want to tell a bull shark from a Pigeye shark, is look at the anal fin. If it's super indented, it's a Pigeye shark. And then the second thing is look at the dorsal fins. If there's a big difference between them, like the first one's really big, the second one's really small, versus similar, like not similar in size, but like not as drastically different in size. You know, a drastic difference is a Pigeye shark. A less drastic difference is a bull shark. So I'm satisfied. I will shut up about telling these two species apart. Oh my gosh. Sorry. It's just, I just think it's really fascinating. I love subtle shark differences. So we need more living photos and video for comparison. I definitely agree. I just saw your comment, Howard. It's very tricky. Yeah, like I definitely agree. More living photos would be really helpful with that. So let's see. Distribution and habitat. Ooh, though it is widely distributed, the Pigeye shark does not appear to be common anywhere. Existing records are patchy, and the full extent of its range may be obscured by confusion with the bull shark. Interesting. There is a single Mediterranean record from off Crotone, Italy. Oh wow. Huh. That's a little concerning, because it's like, well, wait a minute. That's really different from what the IUCN Red List had, actually. The IUCN Red List did not go that far up north, so, yeah, that's a little wild. Tagging and genetic data indicate that Pigeye sharks, particularly juveniles, are not strongly migratory and tend to remain in a local area. Interesting. Pigeye sharks sometimes enter estuaries, but unlike the bull shark, it does not ascend rivers and avoids brackish water. The movements and habitat usage of juvenile Pigeye sharks has been extensively studied in Cleveland Bay in northeastern Queensland. Young sharks live in the bay year-round, staying mostly in the eastern side, where the input from three rivers produces strong currents and high turbidity. Individual home ranges are very small, or relatively small, 12 square miles, and increase in size with age. The juveniles generally stay in water less than 40 meters deep, with the youngest sharks spending most of the time in the shallowest parts of the bay. That is really cool. They swim into the intertidal zone with the rising tide and depart as the tide recedes. This movement may relate to exploiting foraging opportunities on the submerged mudflats, or to avoid predation or competition by staying out of the deeper water occupied by larger sharks. That's really cool and actually kind of adorable. So baby Pigeye sharks like to be in shallow water to get away from bigger sharks. There's also an annual movement cycle where the juveniles move closer to the river mouths during the dry season and farther from them during the wet season. So that's really cool because that probably relates to salinity. So in the dry season, the river is going to be a bit saltier, so that's more accommodating for baby pigeye sharks. But then during the wet season, that's going to dilute the salinity and make a river, less salty, so that's going to push those pigeye sharks away. Oh, and that literally is what the next sentence is about, so sorry. Okay. The pigeye shark is a largely solitary animal, although occasionally several individuals may be found at the same location. In the Mozambique Channel, I don't know where that is. This is between Madagascar and mainland Africa. Cool, I did not know that. It outnumbers the bull shark on the east side, while the opposite is true on the west side, suggesting that there may be competitive exclusion between these similar species. That's super cool. That pigeye sharks and bull sharks might be so similar in terms of their niche that they kind of like duke it out, and it's like there's pigeye shark territory on the west side and then bull shark territory on the east side. That's really cool. That is actually really, really cool. Got a list of parasites. Oh, this is cool. So apparently pigeye sharks eat guitarfish, like this one right here. But guitarfish and other cartilaginous fishes are preyed upon by the pigeye shark, particularly in South Africa. But it likes to hunt on the seafloor. Okay. It has also been recorded eating dolphins. Yeah, that's a little concerning. Yeah, I mean, if you are a shark that's able to go after a dolphin, that is actually very concerning. That is you have to be a very capable predator to do that. So that's wild, actually. Other sharks and rays figure much more prominently in the diets of South African pigeye sharks than those from other regions. The types consumed include requiem sharks, cat sharks, angel sharks, guitarfishes, stingrays, and eagle rays. Ooh. We won't go too much into reproduction details. Young sharks could be found in shallow inshore environments such as bays until at least 3 years of age, suggesting that the species uses these sheltered habitat as nurseries. As the sharks get bigger, they go further from land into deeper water. I always think that's really cool, that bigger sharks get to be more venturous, I just think that's cool. This is a long-lived, slow-growing species. Males grow faster and reach a smaller ultimate size than females. Sexual maturity is 12 years for males and 13 years for females. Maximum lifespan is 26 years for males and 30 years for females. Interesting. We don't get to see this much, but as a predator, though, the shark can accumulate ciguaterotoxins produced by dinoflagellates within its tissues. In November 1993, some 500 people in Manakara, Madagascar were poisoned, 98 of them fatally after eating meat from a pigeye shark. Now that is cool, and that is, it's not cool, I'm sorry, rest in peace, I apologize, but this new piece of information is fascinating. We've never seen that before on the stream in terms of shark flesh poisoning. We did have that with Greenland sharks, because we talked about Greenland sharks, how they have toxic flesh, but I don't think we've talked about death, like an actual poisoning from toxic flesh for Greenland sharks. So this is the first time I've ever heard of death, an actual incident of death as a result of eating shark flesh. That's kind of wild, because I think a lot of research keeps talking about sharks being apex predators accumulate toxins in their bodies. But this is the first time I've read explicitly yes, and people have been killed by toxins in a shark's body. So that's actually really wild, man. Sorry, Howard. Your image is fuzzy. It was cutting out earlier. Interesting. The problem has changed. Sorry about that. What was that? I don't see a time code on that. Is it good now? Sorry about that. I think that's a new technical problem. So adding to the list. So, but yeah, I hope that whole thing about shark poisoning kind of came out pretty clearly, because that's really fascinating. We've never seen that before. As far as like just the live stream. Wow. Yeah. So in theory, shark flesh is very toxic, and in reality, yes, like everything that scientists keep talking about in terms of like mercury accumulation, or wow, what was the big one? The big one that Jess and I were talking about. It's the BPAA. Is that it? Basically bioaccumulation of toxins in shark flesh means that shark flesh is very toxic to consume. And that's crazy. That is actually crazy that this is the first time we've read explicitly a fatal incident in which people consumed shark meat and were poisoned by it. So that's crazy. This was the first recorded mass ciguatera outbreak caused by a shark, as well as the first with a significant death toll. That's pretty crazy. Oh, wow. So we'll move on from this, but yeah, this is interesting. So I guess iNaturalist New Zealand, it almost looks like, kind of taking a look at this, it almost looks like one of those Wikipedia riffs a little bit, but this had a lot of cool information on it. So really appreciate this website. Thank you. All right. This is a clip from... What is this? IUCN Red List? FRDC. I forget where this came from, but let's check this out really quick. It's already almost 10:30, which is kind of wild. See if there's any new information. Oh, there's currently no information on population size, structure, or trend for Pigeye Shark. There's evidence within Australia that subpopulations may be present. Globally, there's little information, as often confused with the bull shark. Wow, okay. We'll keep going. I don't know why I did this, actually. This website, I think the Sharkwater website, is kind of like an accumulation of everything else, so we might just kind of skip that. Marine biodiversity. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm just catching up your comments, Howard. Poetic justice, yeah. The same. The text and everything is fuzzy. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah, let me check. Hold on. Let me go ahead and stream. I'm gonna jump on as a viewer really quick on my phone. I want to see what's going on here, actually. I think I'm looking okay on my end. I'm leaving a valuable comment on the discussion, so, but anyway. Okay. Yeah, keep me posted. Let me know how it's looking on your end. So, because like I just logged in just on my phone, and it looks okay. I could have a bias since I'm using like the same internet here, but it may be like a bandwidth thing. But yeah, sorry about that. I hope it's clearer now. So, but anyway, marine biodiversity informatics for Kerala. Let's check out, see if there's anything new here. No? Shoot. Okay. We'll keep going. We got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff to kind of chew through. And actually, since it's almost 10:30, I might just kind of bounce around, trying to find like what might be the most interesting to check out. This is like a map of capture locations of the Pigeye Shark and bull sharks and the river shark, Glyphis. So you can see that these three species, they actually overlap. I believe this is also Australia. Yep, this is Australia, like northern Australia. But look at this. Like the black dots are the Pigeye Shark, or sorry, the black dots are the bull shark. The white dots are the Pigeye Shark. These are in the same range. Although you can kind of see the Pigeye Shark is occupying this like little bay habitat here. And then the triangles are river sharks. So these three species, which are hard to tell apart, are all occupying very similar habitat here. This is actually really cool. Juvenile Pigeye sharks prefer shallow water embayments, whereas juvenile bull sharks inhabit freshwater nurseries. That's actually really cool that even though those two species look and act so similarly, they actually distinguish themselves in terms of habitat. As juvenile bull sharks mature, individuals increase the frequency and duration of marine excursions until they reach maturity, after which time they reside permanently in marine environments, sympatric with adult pigeye sharks. This is cool. This is a cool study, talking about overlapping distribution. It's actually really cool. River sharks, Glyphis sp, also occupy freshwater nurseries, although the habitats used during the remainder of their life cycle are unclear. Yeah, this is, I might just put a pin in this really quick. I just want to kind of bounce around to some of these other things. I wanted to find something that's a little bit more visual. That's a little too visual, but this is a new photo. Whoa, this is actually a crazy photo. Wow. Okay, hold on. Let's get some context. This is Seychelles citizens. This species is not protected, caught in handline or artisanal landline. Okay, sorry. So yeah, this photo, sorry, this photo really stuck out to me because apparently the center shark is a pigeye shark, and then the other two sharks are bull sharks. So, hold on. Do I have this? Yes. So, hold on. Can we make this bigger? Because that's actually really crazy. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. So, Pigeye Shark in the center, in between two bull sharks. I hate dead shark images, but I do think this is actually really interesting to kind of illustrate the differences between the two species, and like those really look very similar. And actually, the traits that we're looking for, like you can't really readily see them in this photo. And even look at the dorsal fin. Oh, actually, you can see that. There we go. Sorry. You can see that. So one of the traits for the Pigeye Shark, remember, is like the first dorsal fin is significantly larger than the second dorsal fin. So you can see that here, kind of. That little nub right there is the second dorsal fin. Whereas the bull shark, there isn't that pronounced of a difference, and you can see that. Like, you can see that the first dorsal fin, the bull shark, is big. The second dorsal fin is not too small. That's actually crazy. And with this other bull shark, same thing. You know, second dorsal fin is big. Oh, sorry, first dorsal fin is big. Second dorsal fin, you know, not too small. With the Pigeye Shark, first dorsal fin is big. Second dorsal fin, very small, proportionally. So yeah, I hate dead shark photos. You know, I don't want to like have those on here, but this is actually a really good example of like how these sharks are different. Like if you do a glance of them, there's no way you can tell them apart. But if you look at them very carefully, you can actually see the difference between these two species. So again, the two sharks on the outside are the bull shark, and the one in the middle is the Pigeye Shark. So crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's check out some more photos. Yep, this is more of a close-up of the Pigeye Shark, with that second dorsal fin again being very small compared to the first dorsal fin, and then one last photo. What's really creepy is that almost looks like it moved. I don't know if that's probably... Ugh. Yeah, this is a very lurid picture. Is this finning? What the hell? Sorry, what is this website? Seychelles Citizens. Yikes. Sorry about that. This must be a photo, and I'm kind of curious, like, how these photos were captured, because this is used for a website that is, like, you know, it looks like it is a conservation website talking about this species and its biology, but, like, I just realized that this photo is depicting shark finning. It's like, yikes. So, you know, we'll move on. That's a little... Ugh. Species not protected, caught in handline and artisanal drag fisheries, but appears to be rare to a very rare component of the catch. Its actual abundance is not clear, as local fisheries do not distinguish the species from a similar and much more common bull shark. It is illegal to fish for sharks with nets. It is subject to hook and line, short anchored and long line, and illegal net fishing. So, oof, wow. Sorry, it was a little bit of a ride there, but I just saw your comment, Howard. The same but blurry, but I hear you just fine. Shoot. Well, I'm glad you can hear me. Sorry about that. I wish I could, like, make it faster or clearer. So, this is a cool paper. The first record of the Pigeye Shark in the Mediterranean Sea. This will be interesting to kind of dive into. Since it is 10:30, we should probably think about what next week's shark is going to be. So let me know in the comments if there's anything that comes to mind in terms of what species we want to go into next week. But while we're thinking about that, I'll dive into... This is actually really fascinating that there's a Pigeye shark that's caught in the Mediterranean, because it's so different from the Indo-Pacific. So let's check it out. The authors report herewith of the first Mediterranean record of the Pigeye or Java shark, Carcharhinus amboinensis. The specimen, estimated to be about 3 meters long, was captured by a commercial... Oh, that's a big shark. Wait a minute. Was captured by a commercial fisherman in summer 2003 off Crotone, Italy, in northwest Ionian Sea. A description and morphometric measurement of its jaws are given. This record brings the number of shark species so far recorded in the Mediterranean Sea to 51. We haven't read an article... We haven't read anything saying that Pigeye sharks get to be that big, so let's kind of... We'll kind of scan through this, but... The specimen was identified as C. amboinensis based on the set of jaws. And is that it? The total length of the specimen was not accurately measured, but it was estimated to be about 3 meters long. So yeah, maybe they got it kind of wrong. Interesting. So yeah, this is kind of interesting. So they didn't have like a photograph of the actual individual, but they identified it as a Pigeye shark based on the jaws alone. Interesting. But why? Like, how did they tell this apart from other sharks?
The teeth exhibit the shape of recurring sharks, low, wide, serrated teeth. Immediately permit the conclusion the species is not one of those previously reported in the Mediterranean. The teeth are very similar to those of the bull shark. However, bull shark has larger upper teeth and more elongated lower teeth, while Pigeye shark lower teeth are more triangular.
That's really cool. Wow. Okay, so I think they did get this right. So this is actually a Pigeye shark. This capture of Pigeye shark is the first record of its occurrence in the Mediterranean Sea. The geographical distribution of Pigeye sharks is as follows. In the eastern Atlantic, it's been recorded in Nigeria, in the West Pacific. However, the shark is probably more common throughout the world's oceans. Where did that go off? Then hold on, where is this paragraph? than the few record catches would indicate. Many authors have confused the species of bull sharks, both being heavy-bodied, short-snouted sharks. This is cool. The recent history of the Mediterranean Sea, its tropicalization, the change from a warm temperate to a tropical regime connected to global warming we are currently experiencing has seen a significant increase in the number of tropical species. The opening of the Suez Canal in 1869 has provided a means of ingression for Red Sea and Indo-Pacific sharks. Pigeye sharks must be considered a Lessepian migrant. Gotcha. This record brings the number of shark species recorded so far in the Mediterranean Sea to 51. The number of species of the genus Carcharhinus frequenting at least occasionally these waters to 12. And the number of shark species recorded in Italian waters to 43. Okay. So sorry about that. I kind of butchered reading that, but I was really skeptical at first about how accurate this paper actually would be. And the reality is, like, nope, they actually got it right. This is not the same as a bull shark because of the lower teeth. I know that bull shark jaws truly do have those, like, spikier teeth, so they definitely got this right. And that's kind of wild that tropical species, including tropical shark species, are actually moving north from the Red Sea into the Mediterranean. That's actually really crazy. Sorry, I keep clicking this paintbrush thing. Sorry about that. I don't know why I keep doing that. Okay. So, yeah. It's a little weird and a little concerning because I know the Mediterranean as a zone, at least in the temperate northern Atlantic, we're not doing so great. You know, it's a very heavily impacted area ecologically. So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really heard a lot about how climate change is affecting the Mediterranean, but that's, you know, really concerning. So, this is Biodiversity of India. Not really much information on this, just general illustrations of Pigeye Shark. First record of Pigeye Shark in the Red Sea, which is wait a minute. That's weird. So this is published in 2013, but the Mediterranean thing was published in 2003. That's really weird. In October 2010, a small male specimen of a Pigeye shark was encountered at a fish market in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. That's odd. Yeah, that's really weird. And that definitely is a Pigeye shark because we know that the anal fin is deeply notched. The first dorsal fin is very tall, second dorsal fin is very small. Yeah, this is weird. Yeah, this is really weird. Ooh, what is this? Complete mitochondrial genome of the Pigeye shark. Whoa. This is crazy. I personally don't know genetics as well, but I'm sure studies like this probably thrill geneticists. And that's actually really crazy. In this manuscript, we describe the first complete mitochondrial sequence for the Pigeye shark. The mitogenome is 17,000 base pairs long, consists of... Oh my, this is craziness. Okay, so yeah, I won't spend too much time on this, but that's actually crazy that we have the genome of this species. Wild. Yeah. Let's see. I'm getting close to 11, so I just want to skip around really quick. This seems like a cool study. This might be a good one to end the night. The wet season affects the distribution of Pigeye sharks in tropical nearshore waters. This one seems really cool. So let's just click around, see if there's any other cool little tidbits information. This is cool. First record of Pigeye Shark from Karnataka. The cool thing is this individual, 2 meters, 500 kilograms, or 500 kilos. That is a huge animal. So, okay. I think what we're going to do is we'll wrap up with this wet season effects of juvenile pigeye sharks in tropical nearshore waters. And again, this was a super research heavy stream, so like it's this is kind of more of like a chill. I mean, not chill, but like this is more of like a study Monday. So, but oh hey, sorry Howard, I just saw your comment. Some species of dogfish for next week. Let's see. Yeah, like let's do. You know what? Actually, yes to that, and let's do. Hold on. I actually have some ideas because I think there's some families we have not gone over yet, and would be really cool to cover. So let me just check. Well, actually, you know what? We can do this. Let's do this together. Hold on. Squaliforms. Let's check this out really quick. Oh, also, shout out to Google being terrible. Sorry, but like, I've noticed Google search has gotten so much worse on a lot of different things, including species identification. For example, I typed in squaliform sharks, and this is a sand tiger shark. That is not a squaliform at all. I think there's a really bad one recently. Bull shark, that looks fine. There's a really bad one I saw recently. Poor beagle, that looks pretty good. I'll try one more, because I thought I saw a really embarrassing one. Blue shark, that looks pretty good. Okay, well Google, I guess Google's listening to me, and now is like trying to shape up. But anyway, I digress. I've just noticed Google's gotten a lot worse as far as the search engine goes. So, but anyway. Okay, so we got the squaliforms for next week. Centrophoridae gulper sharks would be kind of cool because this is a really rare group and this will be new. We've done Delatiidae, so this is like cookie cutter sharks. Bramble sharks. I think did we do a bramble shark? I don't know if we did or not actually. Lantern sharks. I don't think we've done. Viper dogfish. So we have done a lantern shark because we did the viper dogfish. We did the rough shark. We did sleeper sharks. We did, I think we did do Squalus acanthius. So I'm thinking somewhere, I'm personally thinking, I don't think we did bramble sharks actually. So I'm thinking somewhere between like bramble shark, kitefin shark, gulper shark, somewhere in this territory. What do you, but I'm open to any kind of dogfish. And just as like a teaser, let's see if we get some pictures. These are the gulper sharks, which are pretty cool. Might not get a lot of footage on that. Delatiidae are the kitefin sharks, including the cookie cutter shark, and oh gosh, the pocket shark. Pocket sharks actually do creep me out a little bit. Let's see. Bramble sharks. I feel like we did do a bramble well, no, we didn't. There's no way we did. Bramble sharks are a little... I mean, bramble sharks would be cool. They're very, very odd looking. Lantern sharks. Probably cool to do, like, as far as, like, light-producing organs, but we did do the viper dogfish. I would shy... I mean, we could do another... rough shark, but I feel like we should probably draw attention to a different family. There's multiple kinds of sleeper sharks, including velvet dogfish. I don't know. Let's see. I'm voting gulper. Yeah, I'm thinking gulper as well. So let's do. You know what? Do you know what we should definitely do? Here we go. Let's do the classic gulper shark, Centrophorus granulosus. That will be next week. This, this is a good pick because I know the past couple streams I've been talking about the really rare jaw set that I had that I lost. This is it. This is the species that I had the privilege of being gifted a Marine Lab jaw set of gulper shark Centrophorus granulosus, and I lost it. I think what happened was I was cleaning it one day and I left it in a kind of like a garbage bag, just like cleaning the jaw set. And I think at the time I was visiting family and my parents may have thrown it out, not knowing what it was. I might have thrown it out, not knowing what it was. And yep, that's the jaw. That is the jaw that I had. It's really, really rare, and it's really sad that I don't have it anymore. So, but yes, I think this is the species. I think we need to give it its due. So, Centrophorus granulosus will be next week's shark. So, oh man, good pick actually. So, let's see. All right. So for Pigeye Shark Night, let's wrap up with this: the wet season affects the distribution of pigeye sharks in tropical nearshore waters. So, tropical nearshore environments are actually also. Sorry, before we get into this too, Howard, any music preferences for study music too? Because at the very beginning of this whole stream series, I think the open-ended question I had for viewers was, which shark next week, and what music next week. And I think it just kind of slowly transformed into sharks only. But if you have any music suggestions, please leave a comment as well, in terms of like good study music. So, and no pressure, because I usually just come up with something random anyway. But if you have any suggestions, feel free to comment. So, tropical nearshore environments are highly dynamic systems owing to extreme freshwater flow and flooding episodes that occur in wet season months. We hypothesize that juvenile sharks in tropical nearshore waters respond to seasonal freshwater inflow by moving away from areas of strong flow. An array of 58 acoustic receivers deployed in Cleveland Bay. It's kind of funny seeing that because Cleveland is a very... it's an American city. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm sure there's other Clevelands in the world, but it just feels so American. North of Queensland, Australia, passively tracked 32 juvenile pigeye sharks, Carcharhinus amboinensis, throughout 2 wet seasons from 2008 to 2010. Influences associated with wet seasons appeared to play a role in habitat use by juvenile pigeye sharks in the region. Home ranges and distribution of individuals showed distinct changes, with individuals moving north away from sources of freshwater inflow during the high flows. So this is basically, this abstract in a long-winded way is talking about how baby pigeye sharks move away from river mouths if, like, during the wet season, because the all that rain is like diluting the salt water and kind of pushing them out, and then they get closer to the river mouths during the dry season because it's actually getting saltier. It's not being diluted by rain or like an influx of fresh water. So. Okay. Although juvenile pigeye sharks moved in response to freshwater inflow, home range sizes remained stable, and the amount of space individuals used did not change in relation to freshwater inflow. So, gotcha. So this is actually really cool. Kind of cool map of like this. This is actually a really nice grouping of these receivers. I've always been curious about like shark studies that use these kind of receivers where, and I've actually been really curious about using like an acoustic receiver array at the mouth of like the Chesapeake Bay, just as like making like a shark gate, like, in terms of like, if sharks get tagged and go through the bay, you can kind of ping who's coming in and who's coming out. I think that would be really cool. I'm curious how expensive that kind of study would be as far as like this kind of receiver technology, but I think it would be a cool thing to do one day. So, Oh, sorry. I thought I saw something cool. Like always, I always kind of like skip through. And by the way, sorry, shout out to Danielle M. Nip, Michelle R. Hupel, Colin A. Simpfendorfer. That's actually Hupel and Simpfendorfer are actually really important shark names. Wow. Andrew J. Tobin and James Maloney. Wait a minute. These are really big names, actually. Hupel and Simpfendorfer. Those are huge names. Oh, wow. Cool research. Let's see. Didn't Simpfendorfer do a book? I'm checking my Sharks of the World book, actually, because like I swear I've seen that name on the book somewhere. Anyway. Oh, this is cool. This response to freshwater inflow is similar to that reported for other shark species, such as bonnetheads in central Florida. Cool. Yeah, I think actually, you know what, as I'm reading this, I think this is basically like the details, the nitty gritty of that cool summary that we read earlier, that rainfall affects river flow and makes certain environments less salty, and you know, that doesn't really suit the Pigeye Shark juveniles, so yeah, interesting. Interesting. Now this is kind of a cool section, further kind of contrasting with bull sharks. However, the closely related bull shark is a euryhaline species with juveniles showing an affinity for low salinities from 7 to 17. Being close relatives, it could be presumed that Pigeye sharks has similar physiological capabilities and behavioral characteristics of bull sharks. Although previous studies have reported Pigeye sharks using brackish water in turbid areas adjacent to creeks and river mouths, this species has not been found to penetrate fresh water. Also, unlike bull sharks, juvenile Pigeye sharks appear to avoid creeks and rivers during times of high freshwater inflow. For example, juvenile bull sharks move down a river in Florida estuary with increasing freshwater flow, but individuals continue using estuarine habitat in times of high flow. Therefore, the results of the study suggest that Pigeye shark is less tolerant of high freshwater inflow than bull sharks, and provide evidence that low salinity levels may be beyond the limits of a Pigeye shark. That's actually really cool. This is a cool map of just general Pigeye, like juvenile Pigeye shark range, and it's nice to see the seasonality where yeah. So it looks like let me make sure I have this right. December, which is summer. Okay. Okay, so December is before the wet season, February is during the wet season, and April is after the wet season. So this is actually really cool. You can kind of see the range of Pigeye sharks changing, where before the wet season, it's saltier here because there's not as much freshwater inflow like from these rivers. So the sharks are actually staying closer inshore. But during the wet season, the rivers are pushing out more fresh water, and so it's kind of pushing the sharks further offshore. And then after the wet season, when there's not that much freshwater inflow from the rain, the sharks are moving back towards inshore. So that's actually a really cool graphical representation of just how, as the environment changes, it's changing the distribution of these animals. That's actually a really cool study, really cool graphical representation of that. Really great example, actually, of how changing environments affect shark habitat and affect shark behavior, ultimately. So, pretty cool. So I think with that, I'll just leave on that image. Let's see. Oh, hey, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Howard. Yes, let me go ahead and leave that comment. I just saw your comments about the gulper shark. So, gulper shark, Centrophoris granulosus. Sorry about that. Also, Motorhead. Interesting. So yeah, Motorhead is awesome. And yes, I'm gonna make a mission, because like the cool thing is there's a lot of places on YouTube that have like different mixes, and I swear, I'm not just saying this to be like fun. Like there probably actually is like a Motorhead remix or study mix where like I think there probably could be a version that would work for like just kind of like having something in the background. So yeah, let me get that ready. So because that also would be kind of cool as like I think in a funny way it kind of fits gulper sharks, because gulper sharks are more of like a like as far as like the shark world goes, it's a really cool group. It is like this, I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's a rare, cool, like it's a good vibe. Like gulper sharks, I think real shark people like really love gulper sharks. So I'm down for that. I'm gonna find a Motorhead thing that will vibe with just kind of like being able to present and like like as like a stream goes. So that is a good challenge. So I will go look for that for the gulper shark. But yeah. I'm going to wrap up here, but thanks so much for watching, and thanks for sticking with me too, because this was definitely much more of like a study night. This species does not have any footage I was really comfortable with seeing, and this was definitely more of like a research night. Like we really kind of like dove in more to actual science, but we learned a lot. I really do love this study, and I kind of love ending on this frame with the study as far as like how the freshwater inflow pushes juvenile sharks out. Like it's pretty cool. Like I love like kind of studies like that where you can clearly see how the environment affects shark distribution. So that part is really cool. And I think the biggest thing that we kind of learned tonight was like a recorded case of shark flesh intoxication. Like in terms of like death by shark flesh. Like we've never ever really. Like we've heard that before with Greenland sharks, but we've never seen like as explicitly a modern record of like, yeah, shark meat will kill you if you like. It depends on the species, but like also at the same time, like all sharks are apex predators. All sharks are near the top of the food chain, and they bioaccumulate and like all these toxins in the ocean to the point where like if you consume shark flesh or shark meat, you might be in trouble. And that was actually pretty cool, pretty interesting surprise with Pigeye sharks, where it's like, yeah, that's the first recorded, or not the first, but like the most explicit recording of shark meat, like intoxication or poisoning, shark meat poisoning. So yeah, but anyway, on a happy note, I'm glad we were able to identify the species and distinguish it from bull sharks. Again, it's a masterclass shark in terms of like, I would say that's an expert level shark as far as identification goes. But thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And next week we will reconvene with Motorhead and gulper sharks. So, but cheers, take care, see you soon.